Kalamazoo Beer Week. Brian's with me from Boatyard Brewing Company. All right. I'm just amazed at where you guys have started, because you came in here, there was no tap room, you were brewing stuff, you were coming in, you were dropping stuff off. I was like, hey, what do you think of that? And now you look at where you guys are at a couple of years later. Brian, it's astounding.
Well, thank you. I think that's a commitment from Dan and I on the quality of the beer, and we have just an amazing staff. Our bar staff is like family, so they treat everyone like brothers and sisters or parents, and so you get that good experience, and that just keeps bringing things back. We started this whole project almost 5 years ago. We'll be licensed 3 years in April, and we've grown. We had almost a 70% increase in sales in 2015, and I would love to do that in 2016.
Just lay that down as a goal, right?
Yeah, but growth has been really good, and I think part of that is that we've gotten very good at making our product, and that product now is appealing to both the brewery tour people and then the restaurateurs and the tap houses and everything around. We were really excited to be mentioned in Esquire magazine.
I saw that. That was awesome.
That was, they happened to have one of their staff here the day after Thanksgiving. It was one of those magical days where we had this Irish band, and I had, 60 Irishmen in the place, and we made special beers for them. And it was magical, and they happened to be here for it. And I think that's the atmosphere we try to generate every day, and certainly the atmosphere we try to generate through Beer Week. I mean, everyone who comes in is family. We treat them like family, and if you don't have a happy experience, usually Dan and I come and visit you and go, what happened? Yeah, what happened? But we've grown to be on Mackinac Island full time and Detroit Zoo, all over. We are exceptionally popular in the Thumb for some strange reason. We sell a lot of beer in the Thumb.
Really?
But we're all over the state, and we continue to work on quality, and we keep working on pushing the Boatyard theme. Is that it's beer. It's not hard surgery, but we take our beer making very seriously.
Right.
But we take the people who come into our lives very seriously. So everyone that comes in, we try to befriend, and it's made our day-to-day job exceptionally pleasurable.
Did you think it'd get this big this quick?
Once you get started and you look at everything, all the hoops you have to jump through,
right.
I am surprised that we're here now. I'm surprised that we've got profitability. I mean, it takes a long time in this business to, especially with the competition. I call it cooperative competition, because we all make different products. We all love each other, but it's a market that has a lot of things to offer. So you got to be at the top of your game. But no, I'm happy where we're going. I'm looking for great things in 2016, and there's nothing better than kicking it off with Beer Week. We go absolutely bonkers for Beer Week, and we've been planning for almost 5 months some of these events. It's like planning for Mardi Gras, and it's and the biggest. The greatest sadness for me is I got to be at the brewery all week. I can't join in on the other 275 events that are going to be around town, but it's going to be a great time to be in Kalamazoo for the next 10 days.
All right, so any special beers you're brewing for this week? Oh, wait.
Yeah.
It's almost too bad I didn't have a picture, because the eye roll itself is worth it.
I think we are serving either at the brewery or at some of the local off-site venues that we're going to be about 52 unique beers.
52?
Yeah. Now, some of them are pretty interesting. We're doing one event. It's called Same Beer, Only Different. So we brewed a blonde ale.
Okay.
And one of the things that makes the Boatyard different is we use a large variety of yeast. We maintain a huge yeast library.
Okay.
So we have now 6 beers that were brewed identically, and then one was, they were each pitched with 6 different yeasts. So you can come in, get a flight, and understand what a Hefeweizen does, or what a Saison yeast does, or what a Belgian wit yeast does. We often use in our IPAs an American ale yeast, which is about as neutral as they come. You drink that and you go, wow, that's about as boring as they come.
Okay.
And then there's something I'm exceptionally proud of. We captured and cultivated 2 wild yeast strains from the north side of Kalamazoo. That's my background in biochemistry. So we have 2 yeast strains that are unique to Kalamazoo. We call the first one Alice, and we call the second one Betty.
Okay.
So they're part of that, but we've also made for the Union, we made a series of beers for the Union for Beer Week that are all made with Alice. So we have Blonde Alice, Raven Alice, Auburn Alice, and and Brunette Alice.
No kidding.
We did a bourbon barrel aged beer using Alice. It's a big beer, and it's called Alice's Great Big Pear because it's with a big pear. We use all these pears that came from Traverse City. So we use the juice of over 500 pears in this batch. So,
oh my goodness.
So Alice is out and about. So and then Betty will be part of that flight of all these different beers. And then we did the same thing with our pale ale. We are having a pale ale palooza. Well, we made the exact same pale ale, kept the dry hop out, and then we dry hopped it with 6 hopping, so you can see what a Citra hops provides and see what a Centennial or a Matuka or a El Dorado. And some of these I've never used, so I'm excited about using those. So we did a lot of things like that. We took our Midnight Star, which is our black cream ale, and that we're able to manipulate. And so we have what we call a Night of Stars. So we have our Midnight Star, and then we have our Maple Star, which is done with a maple. We just finished working with a local organization. We have Tropical Star that reviews honeydew and cantaloupe and mango and that.
Oh,
and
wow.
We have Smith's Irish Star with Monterey cherries from Traverse City, and then it's aged with a little bit of Irish whiskey. And so we just keep, we try to find ways of making beer interesting, making high quality beer that's interesting. So that's what we do, and that's why Beer Week is so fun.
Are most of these your ideas, or is it a collaboration? I mean, who's brewing?
I'm brewing. Okay. I'm brewing full time, and I want to say we made 14 unique beers for Christmas Eve that were all Christmas themed, and then so I got to enjoy Christmas Eve with my family, Christmas Day, and then on the 26th it was Beer Week, full speed ahead, and so we've been brewing full speed. I do have help at the brewery,
right?
But we all sit around and going, okay, what do we need to showcase? What do we do that's really, really good? Our bar staff came to me and said, there is a demand for a light beer because we get, what do you have that's like Miller Lite, or what do you have that's like Bud Light? Well, usually we give them our Midnight Star or a Kalamazoo Cream Ale, and they go, oh, no.
That's dark. Look at that.
Or that's way too hoppy. Even though, so the bar staff, Terry and Nicole, helped, they brought the idea to me, and we put together a beer which is called Light on the Bow, and we're part of our Friday night kickoff party is an event called What Do You Have That's Like Bud Light, where we're gonna put this out on the market,
right? And
we're gonna get feedback, and it's done with our Alice yeast, and if it flies the way. We've had beer evaluators come in and they love it. It is a light beer.
Right.
So if it works, it's going to go into the big system, and we'll do a launch in the spring with that. And Light on the Bow might be something that comes. But those are how the ideas are generated. Nicole came up with Fatty Patty Sweet Potato Pie Porter. She says, I want to do this. She's never brewed before, and we try to teach all our staff how to brew so they can answer questions intelligently. So we made this porter, and she actually made, sweet potato pie casseroles that went into it. It was amazing. It sold out in one night. And so we're trying to squeeze, it's hard to do on the big system because I can't have her go home and make 48, but we can do it on our smaller scale system, so we have it in the brew house. So a lot of the ideas come from the staff, or we have, like I said, a lot of our patrons are family and they bring us ideas. Go, why don't you do this? And say, okay. When we can squeeze it in, we'll do it.
What's the capacity? I mean, what are you brewing? I mean, as far as how much you're brewing and
we do about 50 to 60 barrels a month. Okay. That's probably going to pick up quite a bit because we've seen as we started to do more and more outside sales, we're capturing more and more of the market, and then it simply becomes for any micro brewer that the wholesale will pay the bills, and then the bar is the gravy. Right. So I expect that to jump up. We had a great hit with Costco this year. Costco started selling our bottles. It became our number one seller of our bottled product, and so I have an email into them. We have a few more things we want them to try, and it's great. And a lot of the restaurants, the finer dining restaurants in the area, have committed to us, and so they're always buying. So.
Is it crazy, Brian, to walk into a place and go, "Hey, that's my beer"? I mean,
my God!
Is it one of those moments?
It is, and we're making sales calls, and we don't get our sales figures from our distributor till like 2 weeks after it's happened. So I go in to make a sales call, and I'm trying to do the pitch and provide samples, and they go, "Oh, we already have it on tap." And I'm going, "Really?" Yeah, good. We'll get that on the website. But I think the biggest day for us was when we did the Easy Ale launch the first time at the Beer Exchange, and I saw about 300 pints of my beer being consumed by patrons in the Beer Exchange. I go like, all right, this is cool. And then going to all the other events and people coming up to us now going, I've been at the brewery. I love your product. I'm glad you're here now. So it's fun. You know, I always search for perfection in our product, and I always, I hate drinking our beer sometimes because I'm always looking for the minute imperfection that no one else is going to pick up. But I've gotten real comfortable with our quality now, so I actually enjoy a pint or two every once in a while. I usually go to everyone else's bar because it's like I don't have to think about their beer. So it's like go over to Kevin's and drink his. I don't think about his beer. I go over to see Gonzo or Mark. It's like I just drink their beer. Don't worry about it.
Is there a little bit of that going on too? I mean, because again, you mentioned earlier that it's a competition. It's a friendly competition. But in the end, I mean, if I go to one place, I can't come to your place, and vice versa.
Yeah,
I mean,
But I think and I give a lot of credit to Discover Kalamazoo and the Passport program.
Okay.
We open at noon on some days, which makes us maybe one of the first destinations. And the first thing we do is, hey, are you from out of town? Oh, yeah, we're in for the day. We get the passport out, and then we get the map out. We go, okay, you go down here. This is Bell's. Well, we've already been Bell's. Yeah, but Bell's has beer in there that you've never had. You go in there, and you'll have French Experimental Saison 47. And number 45 was amazing. Who knows what 47 is going to taste like? Go there, have a go. And then you go down here. And then you go down Westridge. And then you can go to Gonzo's. And you make a right to the end of Academy, and you go to Mark's. And then you come down here. And then you go down to, and then by 3 o'clock, Kevin's open at Tibbs. And then you can go down Portage. And you can hit Bright Eyes on One Well in latitude 42. And a lot of people are just astounded that we do that. And, and I'll get people to come in and go, yeah, Kevin said hi from Tibbs, or, Gonzo said hi, and how are you doing? And, it's, Gonzo's doing a tour. We jump on his bus and go hang out with him and his, whatever they're doing. So it is friendly. It is, it is competitive. But the better the beer we have here by all the breweries, then we become a destination. And we are, last summer was just phenomenal. You would come in our bar on Saturday. And look at our parking lot. It's Iowa and Illinois and Ohio and Pennsylvania. And the day after Thanksgiving, we had people from 27 states.
Goodness.
And it's like, why do they commit to coming to Kalamazoo? Because they know they can go out and see all these breweries. Man. And it's going to get better with the advent of the distilleries coming open. I mean, Green Door Distillery, which is right down from us on Wallbridge, is getting this close to opening. And those two guys are hardworking and smart, and they'll make a great product. Then people will have a reason to spend 3 days here. So Kalamazoo is becoming recognized as one of the places you have to go if you enjoy beer. And
my goodness, do I enjoy beer?
Yeah, I know, and so do I. I actually had to make a pact to stop drinking at home because we don't hide the fact that there's a sandwich in every glass. So if I had, and during the holidays, people want to buy you a beer.
Right.
And so over the course of 5 hours, I might have 3 beers. Well, that's 750, 800 calories. Right. You do that for 2 months. And like, why aren't my 34-inch pants fitting anymore? Right. So it's just a great city for this. And Beer Week just highlights it. I mean, there's so much going on that that happens nowhere else. And I think as Discover Kalamazoo pushes this out in the Midwest market and then eventually globally or nationally, that this is just going to keep getting bigger and bigger.
All right. Do you guys have a list of events on the website?
On our website, it's on our event page.
Got it.
It's all over Facebook.
Right.
And if you Google 2016 Kalamazoo Beer Week, you can search by which brewery you like, which venue you like. Do you want a dinner? Do you want a tasting? And I think there's 300 plus events. So we got everything from lectures on tap in the theology in the tap, put on by Trinity Lutheran. We have candlelight yoga in the brew house.
Nice.
We have all these, we have pairings down at the Central City Tap House, which if you haven't been to since they reopened.
Nice.
They got rid of the Epic,
okay,
and they moved it. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. They wanted to get it open and get all the kinks worked out for Beer Week. So they have an event with us and the Cheese Lady, because it's like, if I was on a desert island, give me cheese, give me beer, I'm good. I don't need anything else.
No kidding, right?
But yeah, there's 300 plus events, and you can catch them on that website. And Discover Kalamazoo works passionately on making sure that's up to date every time. And we're going to even be adding things during Beer Week because we have a 3-hour window here. What can we do? It's like, so we decided, we have a 3-hour window. Let's put on tap for the first time every single IPA we have ever made. So,
oh my goodness!
So we have all 9 of our IPAs. Yeah. So you can choose a flight of 6, or you can have a pint, or so we can. We've never had that before, so let's do that. So we did. So we were all done brewing, and then we brewed for 4 more days to make sure that we could get this event on track.
He is Brian. It is Boatyard Brewing Company. The website, again, if anybody has any questions,
www.boatyardbrewing.com.
And of course, you guys are all over Facebook and all over the rest of the place.
We
look around. You can't find
and we're promoting everyone else's events too, because it's what all the breweries do here in Kalamazoo.
All right, cool. Thank you, Brian.